Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. This morning I got up, it's 4th of July, and I decided I would put on this shirt that says March for Our Lives, March 24th, 2018. It says Never Again. And the reason I'm wearing it is because my husband and I were in that march. It was right after a high school shooting. So I had a foreboding feeling this morning, and I decided that I would go live because the Highland Park shootings today. Hi, everybody. Hi, Carol. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Lotus. I'm glad everybody's watching. I'm very emotional. It's 4th of July, and 2 suburbs over from me, Highland Park, there was a horrific shooting. People were enjoying 4th of July parade. They were out having a good time. And a shooter, it seems like a young man with dark hair between the ages of 18 and 20 on a rooftop, opened fire on the parade goers. When does this madness stop? When does it stop? Highland Park is a suburban city. I'm looking at notes here. In the southeastern part of Lake County, I'm in Cook County, but Highland Park is about 20 minutes from me. It's about 25 miles north of downtown Chicago. It's got a population of around 30,176. It's a beautiful city. It really is a beautiful, beautiful city, town. And I taught there at a foundation for over 20 years, 21 years to be exact, and I retired from there. I have colleagues, I have friends who are like family there. And when I heard of the shootings, I heard there'd been a shooting in Highland Park, and I didn't, I thought I had this foreboding feeling. And I turned on the TV, and here we are. Seems like there were 25, 26 people injured and 6 people dead. So, what should be a happy occasion, a happy holiday, has turned into tragedy. You can hear my television in the background because I've got the coverage on. I have to say that the police, the fire department, the emergency responders are doing a phenomenal job. They're doing an excellent job. Unlike the shootings in Uvalde, the police department in Highland Park, they called in police departments from other townships here in Illinois, and suburbs of Chicago, we have townships. So each town has its own police department. So the townships have gotten together. Many of them have canceled 4th of July celebrations. Evanston is a suburb very close to me. They've canceled their celebration. A lot of the victims have been taken to Evanston Hospital. It's a level 1 trauma unit. And that's what's going on right now. They're asking people to stay in, to lock your doors. It's just horrible. Highland Park is a great place you feel safe there. And I suppose when something like this happens in our own communities, it brings it home even more. And we think it can't happen to us. We know that it can, but we think that somehow we're immune from it. But we are not. As soon as I heard about this, I called some people, texted some people, and I talked to a really good friends of mine who are really like family. And one went to her office just to stop by there. And my friend, she was doing some work with a client. The client left, and she was going to go down the elevator, but it wasn't working. So she decided to take the stairs. And her husband called her and told her to go back to her office. There had been a shooting. And she went and she locked herself in. So she's still sequestered in her office. The SWAT teams are telling everybody to stay put. And they are on the roof of her building. I spoke with her husband. He said that they were in the backyard and they heard pop, 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 and he thought it was firecrackers. But one of their nannies said, no, that's gunfire. So immediately before they heard the gunfire, they locked the doors and they took their children and went in the basement. Thank God they're okay. Hi, Lisa from Louisville. Shirley says that she lived on the north side for 25 years. And got friends there too. Anyway, so thank God my friends are safe. Needless to say, they're petrified. And I'm hearing stories about some of the people who lost their lives. I won't relay that right now because I think it needs to stay private. But it's just tragic. It really is tragic. Isadora, you're right. No one is immune from this violence. Ooh. I had a beef with somebody in Highland Park, a couple somebodies. But when I heard about the shooting, I put that aside. And I texted that person in person and asked if they were okay. And they assured me yes. I guess the thing is, don't stay mad at somebody because you never know if they're going to be around or not. Hi, Doreen. Anyway, so I'm thinking about finding a way to do some fundraising for the families that have lost loved ones in Highland Park. I will ask each of you to send your love, your caring to these families. I'm looking at TV right now and it says 6 dead, 24 hurt. Now, some of those people that were hurt wasn't as a direct result of gunshot. They were, I think they were, running, they fell. But the hospitals are on high alert. They have not caught the perpetrator. My friend told me that he went in a store called Sunset, changed clothes so he could blend in. Intuitively, I feel that he's probably already left Highland Park. But everybody's on high alert. However, I know that law enforcement will find the perpetrator very, very soon. This is a statement on what hatred gets us. Now, a lot of people are asking me if, he was complicit. Thank you, Mara. Mara just sent $19.99. Thank you so much, Mara. I will donate that money to Infinity Foundation in Highland Park. So thank you. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I'm trying not to cry. I was talking to Linda Grindle this morning, and we were talking about, the Attorney General of Texas, who already wants to overturn the Texas law in 2003, or the Supreme Court decision in 2003. I can't think of the name of it right now. That gave gay people the rights to be together. Before that, we could be arrested. When Clarence Thomas sent the message that the court should revisit that and gay marriage and contraception, it just gave a green light for these ultra right-wing politicians who are immersed in hate. They are immersed in hate. They hate gays. They hate Mexicans. They hate Jews. They hate anybody who's not white, ultra right-wing like they are. And we must stop this hatred. We have to stop this violence. And my guides are telling me, and I could be wrong, that this shooting today was probably due to hate. There is a large Jewish population in Highland Park. And these hate crimes have got to stop. And these politicians who are perpetuating it under the idea of democracy and individual freedom must be held to task. Must be. The Attorney General of Texas is obviously a fascist bigot who hates anybody who doesn't conform to what he wants. And we will not tolerate it. I'm really mad and I'm hurt. We have got to stand up. This madness has got to stop. I mean, can you imagine going to a 4th of July parade with your grandchild? Or, let's say somebody goes to a 4th of July parade with their grandchild and they end up getting killed because some gunman. And you know what? The Supreme Court is responsible as well for this. They really are. And here's why. When they overturned that concealed carry law in New York, they gave carte blanche to people to have more guns. More guns is not going to end this violence. I believe in the Second Amendment, but I was talking to my friend in Highland Park and I said, we don't need assault weapons. I mean, we don't need those to go hunting. We don't need those to target shoot. We have got to do something. And this gun law bill that just passed was too little, too late. I am mad. I'm hurt. And as a gay person who's been picked on, made fun of, beat up, you know what? I will not go back in the closet. In fact, Gary and I talked about maybe if they overturned our rights, maybe we should think about another country that was friendly. And I looked at him, I said, no, we will fight. Why should we have to leave our country?
80% of these mass shootings are accomplished by individuals who have no criminal background and purchasing these firearms.
I mean, where did this person get this gun? He left the gun behind. They found, I don't know if it was an assault rifle, but it was a high-powered rifle or something that he left behind. When does the madness end? When does it end? I think we need to call our representatives. I don't care if they're Trumplicans. I don't care. But we need to call them and say, we have had it. Right? Scream, yell, do whatever you got to do. Hi, Ron. Unconditional love, Terrell. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. That will be donated to Infinity Foundation in Highland Park. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If I'm missing anybody, let me know. Anyway, we've got to stop this violence. It can't go on. Normally I wear an Aloha shirt because I'm in an Aloha mood, which means love. But it's kind of hard to be in that mood today. 4th of July celebrates Independence Day, when we declared our independence from Great Britain. It's a day that represents freedom for all of us, not just for white, upper middle class, supposed born-again Christian people. That's not what it's about. It's about equality for everybody. LGBTQ. Thank you, Christine. white, yellow, green, purple, Mexican, Hindu, Muslim, whoever. It's about freedom for all of us. And these politicians who are trying to limit our freedoms under the guise that they're giving us more. That's what I say. Look at what they've done to women's rights. That is an abomination. The Supreme Court is going farther and farther right. And it's got to be stopped. We need to have people in the Supreme Court that will stop this madness, this hate. And when they try to turn over gay laws, when the Attorney General of Texas jumps into that, when Clarence Thomas says, oh, we're going to revisit, gay rights. We're going to revisit this. We're going to revisit that. You know what? It just perpetuates this hate. Gay people are born. We don't choose. And Miss Coney Barrett, there's another word for her. We are not an abomination to the Lord. And if you believe in God, Amy, God made us. So therefore, how could God have screwed up? How dare you? I am really angry. Really angry. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. I'm speaking out today in anger, and I shouldn't, because maybe that just puts me on the level of some of those people who hate everybody. Thank you, Shirley. But Independence Day is about freedom. Freedom. Maybe we should tell our Supreme Court that. Maybe we should all write our Supreme Court justices and say, thank you, Lisa. That she says God never makes mistakes. That's right. Maybe we should write to them and say, keep your eyes out of our bedrooms and out of women's vaginas. That's what we should say. The zeitgeist of this country, that means the spirit of the time, perpetuates this unnecessary murder and violence that's going on. And my guides are telling me we must stand up to make it stop. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl Ward. Thank you. You know, Clarence Thomas didn't talk about overturning Loving versus Virginia, did he? Because that affected him. So it just incenses me. These justices, okay, when things affect them, they don't take a look at it. But yet they want to tell the rest of us with whom we can sleep, what we can do behind closed doors, who we can marry, and how to handle our bodies. Wrong. And they were the ones screaming about individual freedoms. Wow. Boy, this has got to stop. Hi, Marby. Thank you so much, my dear. Carol, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I thought about coming on today because I didn't want to come on in the face of this senseless tragedy or to exploit that at all. I come on because I'm angry. I'm very sad. And my heart goes out to those people who died today. And it came to our community. And it's really sad. Yes, you know what? Also, there was a mass shooting in Denmark yesterday. So please send your healing and loving energy to the people in Denmark. Hi, Sweden. Yes, over the rainbow, we do stand together. In Sweden, I am so happy that you guys are joining NATO, and I'm so glad that Finland is. Yes, I know, Shockwave. There was a mass shooting in Texas. Those poor people in Uvalde. That was horrible. And we cannot forget that either. Oh, the green light 777. Thank you. I'm sending everybody hugs too. Yes, Lynn, we are all one. United we stand, divided we fall, and we have got to stop this madness. Hi, Mimi. The shooting was in Highland Park, Illinois. There was a shooter on a building and opened fire on people who were enjoying the 4th of July parade. 6 people are dead. I think 25 are injured, or 24 injured. Not all 24 due to the shooting. Some were injured and trying to get away. So, one thing about us Chicagoans, when we say Chicago, that includes suburbs too. When a tragedy happens, we stand united. We're very proud of Chicago, even though it gets a lot of bad press from people like Cheeto Head, because he had, I can't say it on YouTube, because he had it in for Chicago. But we stand united. And when something happens, we help. We flock together to help. For example, when the Blackhawks won, thank you, Sherry. When the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, thanks, John. I think there were over 100,000 people that gathered downtown without one single incident of violence. We do band together, good and bad. Linda Grindle told me this morning that she had predicted something like this would happen, and she was right. Anyway, Chicago weekend killings, they are terrible. But I do see an end to gun violence in Chicago, my guides tell me. And a lot of the gun violence here will end. It's not as bad as other places, but it will end. I don't know. Is Kevin on? Kevin's Loving Vibrations. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Christine. Thank you, DL Jersey Shore. Thank you, sweetie. Before I came on, my friend sent me a picture. Let me find it. If I can find it here. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. You can see the SWAT team. Can you see it? On the building. Of where she is sequestered. I think the shooting was around 10:40 this morning, if I'm not mistaken. That's Central Standard Time. I'm reading your comments here. Anyway, so it's got to stop. And my guides tell me we need to find our voice. We will find our voice. Everybody, write to Supreme Court, every single justice, and tell them how dissatisfied you are. Write to your legislators. Tell them how dissatisfied you are. And if there's peaceful protest, put one together. We are going to march peacefully. We are going to stand up and say enough is enough. We will not tolerate this any longer. Thank you, Zindo1 says, I love Chicago. So do I. Chicago is a beautiful city. Michael, thank you. Texas had 2 or 3 officers killed, 5 wounded Saturday, along with others injured in Dallas. See, Shockwave, it's got to stop. Oh my God, it's got to stop. And that attorney general down there who just perpetuates hate, perpetuates it. We can be loving and we can be caring and we can be forgiving, but it doesn't mean we have to be doormats, and it doesn't mean we're going to lay back and let them trample on our rights. My guides are telling me they will not do it. Francie said, is this the inflection point? Labor Lady says 5 people were shot, one of whom was killed early Monday in downtown Sacramento. The second mass shooting in the city's court in 3 months. 3 months. You know, there are so many shootings that go on that we don't even hear about. I mean, what is against the Second Amendment to regulate guns? It isn't. You know, the Second Amendment doesn't say that people can own bazookas or rocket launchers or atomic bombs for that matter. You know, we need to ban these assault weapons. We really do. And we shouldn't shut our mouths until they are banned. And have stringent gun control laws. At some point when somebody buys a gun, they have to not have any history of mental illness. They can't have any felony convictions for for X amount of time. They have to go through a gun safety course. They have to pass some kind of a test, whatever that is. I mean, that's not denying anybody their Second Amendment right. That's just helping to ensure that some not crazy person, like these shooters aren't crazy, all right? And they talk about mental health, but some of them are radicalized. We wonder how, you know, Muslim people would become radicalized in some of those countries. It's happening here. This pseudo-Christian nationalism by these politicians, when really it's their way to hold on to power and control. And they talk about freedom, but yet they're authoritarian. They're very authoritarian. And people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, goodbye. Matt Gaetz, goodbye. These people that perpetuate hate need to go. And the reason people are radicalized is because the xenophobia, the ultra-right wants to blame everybody else. They want chaos. They want anarchy because then they say they can fix it. That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. So we wonder how people become radicalized in other countries. It's happening here. Look at QAnon. I mean, that stuff is absolutely crazy, but people believe it because they're fearful. Catherine, so did you read that the adults ran in the shooters' parade while children stayed in calm and helped others? I didn't hear about that. Okay, Giga, I think, or Giga, video games doesn't make people violent. The radicalization that happens because of these people preaching, you know, against minorities, against women's rights, against this, against that, making them believe that just because we're Democrats that we're pedophiles and child molesters and that is such bull hockey. And it radicalizes people. It really does. And that's what they want. And we have got to stop it. Yes, you're right, Cheryl. They do stir up fear because what happens is they cause people to suspend their critical thinking, and then the emotions take over and they lose their critical thinking. So radicalization doesn't only happen in ultra-Muslim countries. It's happening here. This pseudo-Christian nationalism. I mean, anybody that's Christian, if they say, how could they be for Cheeto Head? I mean, how could they be for somebody who perpetuates hate and bigotry and the people around him the same? I saw one of those people testify in the January 6th commission that they would read the Bible every day. Really? And what did your Bible tell you about your boss, Cheeto Head? If that's Christianity, count me out. People, they're radicalized. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Michael says, you're an apostate of Christian if you do not follow and espouse the teachings of Jesus, talking out both sides of their mouth. I don't think God is amused either. If you want to follow the true teachings of Christ, you follow love, tolerance, acceptance. You speak up about hate and injustice. And when people make fun of you, you bless them, you go your way. You don't engage in bigotry, racism, prejudice. You don't. And that goes for you too, Clarence Thomas. It really does. You're right, Studio LB. Jesus would be ashamed of them. I'm sure he is. That's right. There's nothing in the scriptures about abortion or homosexuality. They quote the Old Testament, Sodom and Gomorrah. But yet, when Christ came, the Old Testament went by the wayside, and nobody knows what the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah was anyway. Miss Amy Coney Barrett, who hates gay people, they need to clean their own doorstep. Mr. Kavanaugh, clean your own doorstep. Amy, he's no angel. Clarence, who was, allegedly groped women and harassed them. It's not. My TV is going. If anybody is going to criticize that, don't. Because if you do, I will remove you from my channel. The TV is going because we had a shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, and I have it going so you can hear it and so I can hear it so I can keep you abreast of what's going on. Anyway. So, Jesus was the original liberal. That's true. Love, peace, and tolerance. That's not today's Christians because they're not really Christian. They say they are, but they're not. A lot of us intuitives have said, and psychics have said, there would be more gun violence. I never believed it would be in Highland Park, Illinois. I never thought it would be in Highland Park, Illinois, but it has hit close to home. And I'm still very upset by it because, as I said, I have friends who are like family there, many colleagues. I worked up there. I taught a lot of people from up there for over 20 years. Yes, thank you, Mary. A blanket of love over Chicago and Highland Park. Thank you, Sharon. She says the way I was brought up as Christian teaching was to love everyone. We never heard LGBTQ people were wrong. And that women were less than a man. Yeah, we talk about theocracies, but guess what? That's exactly what's going on here. A Christian theocracy. Isn't it sad that we can't have a public gathering? We can't even go out in public anymore without having to worry about being shot or killed. It just is, ooh. Yes, I was angry. I was very mad that this happened again. And I'm mad at our lawmakers. I am mad at the bigotry and the racism. And I will scream out. This is a part of me that people rarely ever see, rarely, until there's an injustice and it keeps happening. Jesus only became angry with money traders. He loves everyone. Do unto others you have them done to you. I agree with that. But these politicians are like money traders. They want to hold on to their power no matter what. Oh, wow. I feel sorry for you. My heart goes out to all. I'm still recovering from Paul's shooting in my hometown of Orlando. That's another thing when the Paul shooting happened. Thank you, whoever donated the $50. Thank you. The blood of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters ran through the streets of Orlando, and they didn't do a thing about it with passing gun control. Nothing. Why? Because it was a bunch of gay people that got shot. It's just enough is enough. Anna, you're right. It's sad what's happening, and people need to be stopped being angry with everything. I mean, I see people like yesterday. I was at Walgreens. I'm waiting in line, and this lady comes in and she cuts right in front of everybody because she didn't use her coupon. And the woman said, "You have to go to the back of the line and wait." And the woman gave the cashier an attitude, and I'm like, "Ma'am, people are here waiting," and she told me to mind my own business. And I said, "No, I won't, ma'am. You can be polite and wait in line." I didn't get angry. I just, matter of fact, this sense of entitlement that's going on. No, Sharon, the shooter has not been caught yet, but my guides tell me that he will be. Again, I gotta compliment. I have got to compliment the Highland Park Police Department. They called in local police departments from all over, the first responders, the fire department, the paramedics, the hospitals have done a phenomenal job, an absolute phenomenal job. They really have. Oh, thanks, Terry. She's I'm a good teacher. Thank you. Um,
Well, it does for the forensic part of it, Alicia, because it's spread out over probably a block or more with people running. There's going to be
Let me see. I'm just reading your comments here. Yes, humanity has taken a lot of hits from our elected people, but I think, JWB 52Z, I want to start helping people, poor women, get to states where they can have, right to their body. As I said, Gary and I talked about, we leave the country with our gay rights and this and that got overturned. And then I thought, no, why should we have to leave our country, our community, because a bunch of ultra right-wing Trump-Lincoln zealots, okay, don't like who we are? I will not leave. I will stand up and fight. I will stand up and fight.
It also struck me in the previous press conference.
Yes, Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot from Canada, a suburb here in Chicago, a township called Highland Park. It's about 2 towns over from me. It was a 4th of July parade, and a shooter on a roof opened fire on the parade goers, the people attending the parade. 6 people are dead, and I think over 24 people, I think, are injured. Not all injuries were due to the shooting, but just when they were trying to leave. So thanks, Sandra. So that's what's happening. Yes, they said the shooter is a white male, long black hair, 18 to 20, but they say he went in a grocery store, I think Sunset Foods, and changed clothes so they could blend in. My guides tell me he will be caught. Thank you, Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot. DL Jersey Shore. Isn't it sad that we can't go to parade? She said she avoids gatherings. Like I said, it's sad that we can't. Oh, Cheryl Ward, thank you. Cheryl, I will fight for anybody's rights. I refuse to go back in the closet. I know what it's like to be bullied and beat up. And, I'll fight for anybody's rights. Let's see. Well, Christina, that's right. She says, if America were to fall to this insanity, so will go other democratic countries. That's exactly right. Thank you, whoever donated $50. I don't know who it was, but you have my utmost thanks. Callie says, I understand why some do not want to leave, but I do. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get out of this country ASAP. I do not want my retirement plan to be fleeing as a refuge. And I understand that choice, Kelly. I really do. But we shouldn't be forced to leave our country because of who we are and what we are. And I, for one, will stand and fight. Michael says we lost our innocence. Some of us didn't. I think the ultra right wingers who claim to be so high and mighty never had it to begin with. Trump just brought the cockroaches out of hiding. That's all. I was laughing at a comment somebody made. Amlam said, why did this one occur? What was his problem? When will this stop? I'm so tired of feeling helpless when there are solutions. It's almost like one faction wants to stay in chaos. Yes, they do want us to stay in chaos. I just said that. That's what they want, because then they can have total control. And my guides tell me they will not win. They must not win. You know, the Republican Party, if Trump tries to run again, is going to be in shambles. It's in shambles already. And I see it divided. Kevin had said that, and he was right. It's going to be divided. I don't know how to say la vie. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm an American and I'm in London. They had the largest pride parade. Lasted all day on Saturday, and all the stores and restaurants all decorated for Pride Month. Yay! We had some big parade here too. Nancy says, let's celebrate equality for all. Music Fun says, my brother lives in Glenview and works as a paramedic in the city of Evanston. I pray for everyone's safety and victims and their families. Here on this day when we should be celebrating our freedom's blessings, we are instead mourning lives lost and terrorism's affliction. Will they find the gunman mill? Yes, they will. And very, very soon, my guides tell me. Very, very soon. He's going to be found. I'm surprised. I'll say la vie. My French isn't very good. I apologize. Well, you know what, Krista, you're right. And if DeSatan runs for president, then we need to speak up. I mean, he won't even let teachers say gay in Florida. He's another one that perpetuates hate and bigotry and prejudice. What would he do if one of his children ended up being gay? Or some of these politicians, if they lost a child or a loved one in one of these shootings, they would be the first to scream about it. Clarence Thomas has the gall to talk about overturning our rights as gay people and the right to contraception. But yet, what about Loving versus Virginia that gave interracial people the right to marry? Oh, he's not going to touch that one. He said, why? Because it concerns him. And let me tell you something. His wife, Ginny, is getting her playbook directly from those ultra-right wingers, and she is telling Clarence what to do, because we all know that Clarence and Ginny are in Trump's hip pocket. My guides tell me that, and it just makes me angry. It really makes me angry. Yes, DeSatan is a Trump. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, if any trolls comment, if anybody does that, you know, I don't mind positive, I don't want to say criticism, positive suggestions. But when it gets negative and if it gets nasty, these trolls, I don't want them. And if it's going to be a negative comment or a nasty comment, I will remove you. I will block it from my channel. I'll remove it from my channel. Thank you, Kevin. I'm glad you're on board. Kevin's on board. Yay. Hi, Kevin. What I'm getting right now is that they're still looking for the gunman. My guides tell me I'll find him. My friend just texted me. She's still in her office. She can't leave. The SWAT teams are just telling everybody to stay put. Emlam, I felt the kid did this because he was radicalized right winger, and you know, I think it was a hate crime. I really do. And I think that the radicalization is happening in this country, and it's coming from the ultra right. You know, the xenophobia, the QAnon, everything's a conspiracy theory. and it's just radicalizing people. So what happens is they put aside their critical thinking, and the emotion takes over, and boom. I mean, it's yes, Bill Barr, Steve will be prosecuted at some point. So they put aside their critical thinking, and there's so many shootings. They think it's okay to go out and shoot a bunch of people, just like that guy that was acquitted in Wisconsin. He took an automatic weapon and killed somebody, and when he was acquitted, it just gave impetus to a lot of other people to go out and do the same thing. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI. Regular updates are also being posted. Well, Michael, you're right. He said that we forge a new America in November. Everybody's got to go out and vote. Everybody's go out and vote. As I said earlier, it's no different than young people being radicalized to Islam. It's the same thing. It's happening here. Pam C8KS, what did Trump put out? It says a strange, puzzling message this morning. I didn't hear it. Wicked Cats, my guides tell me that she will be subpoenaed, and my guides tell me if she doesn't show up, she will be indicted. And my guides tell me if Clarence tries to get her out of it, he's going to be guilty for tampering with a witness. And so he's going to be in deep water too. And there's going to be rumblings about impeachment proceedings against him. My psychic light bulb just went on in my head, and my guides are showing me that there's going to be rumblings of impeaching Clarence Thomas. So I don't, let me see here. I'm looking at your. I'm just wondering what message Trump put out. Hi, Geek Hillbilly. How are you? I
can tell you that the decedents on scene were adults.
Okay. I'm looking at your. I just deleted a message here. I'm sorry. Oh, I did not know, Mimi, that there was a thing out. Signatures already. I did not know, Mimi, that there was a million signatures already to impeach Uncle Clarence. I like that, Uncle Clarence. Well, you know what, you guys, Tris, and Mimi Rose, send me a copy of that position, and I'm going to sign it like John Hancock. Huge letters, huge letters. Okay, I'm just reading your comments here. I hope you're right, Catherine. The country's about to change, and people will be loving. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. I don't know, Krista, but we'll find out when we can all sign in to impeach him. Pam C8KS, where did you get the petition? All right. Anyway, so here's an update on the Highland Park shootings. Y'all, excuse me just a second. I want to turn the TV on.
And then there was one that was transported to a local hospital that also died at the hospital. I don't have any additional information on that victim.
I don't know if y'all can hear this, but I turned it up. Give me 1 second, you all. Okay, because I got it.
So currently we have an active crime scene in our central business district. The perimeter is Green Bay Road to Laurel Avenue to St. John's Avenue to Elm Place.
I don't know if y'all can hear this.
Personnel in that area, continuing the investigation and clearing businesses and buildings.
They're answering questions.
Some people chose to shelter in place and continue to do so. We are working with our law enforcement teams in that area to evacuate them. The Highland Park Police Department is the reunification site for family and friends. if anyone is missing anyone or there's any separated parties, they can be directed to the Highland Park Police Department. And that's located at 1677 Old Deerfield Road in Highland Park, 60035.
There's an update going on right now. But anyway,
That's correct.
somebody just said that these families should sue the gun manufacturers. That's a good idea. They'll probably win. Oh, you're watching on WGNG or Giga.
At least one of those.
Oh wow, Geek Hillbilly says Malcolm, Missouri, or is that there's another active shooter? Oh dear God.
We transported, but do not know the outcome.
Gloria says she's watching CNN. This is on no, this is not a local station. I've got it on MSNBC, so it's not a local station. Yes, Doris, I did get a premonition that something just wasn't right, and I woke up this morning and something told me to put this shirt on, and so I put it on.
To limbs and such, but the crews were on scene very quickly. There were bystanders who helped that rendered aid as well. They were
So
quick to tie
I'm gonna
targets
turn this
and
down
do bleeding control, which definitely assisted the fire department on scene.
it would help if I would get my remote control. I put plastic around it because Gary's got COVID. Anyway, they were just talking about the first responders and the firefighters. And as I said, the police have done a great job. Anyway, well, you all, it's been WMAQ, yeah, that's NBC. Yes, you're right. Kevin says drink a Tito's and a sparkling water with lime. Absy third, have you read on the number of shooters in Illinois? The numbers just don't add up. I don't know. I haven't read about that. Does the shooter have an accomplice? No, they don't think so. He was alone. He was alone. Geek Hillbilly, we had an active shooter in Floyd County last week, killed 2 police officers, EMT and a canine officer named Draggle. The funerals were today. I just got home from one of the. I am so sorry to hear that, Geek Hillbilly. It's just, wow, Floyd County. 2 police officers and an EMT. Wow, 3 people. And a canine officer named Draggle. Wow. That's when does it stop? When does the shooting madness stop? It has to end. It has to end. It's got to stop. And we have it in our power, my guides tell me, to make it stop. Prayers to the people in Floyd County, everybody. It says, yes, we do need to stop the rampant violence, Michael. You're right. Michael Brodsman. Thank you, Michael. Oh, thank you. It's a sad day. It certainly is. But Floyd County in Virginia, I'm in Roanoke County, Annalie Finch says. I have Floyd County, Kentucky. There's a Floyd County, Kentucky. So this violence has got to end. Anyway, wow. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Geek. Please send that link to us. I'm just reading your comments. We just need to get the NRA to clip their wings. They've got too much power. But my guides tell me that some of those big wigs at the NRA, they're going to end up under indictment too. They really will. We're all being held hostage. We all need to go out and just say, we won't live in fear. Anyway, I just thought I'd come on and let you all know what's happening in Highland Park. And I will keep you posted as time goes on. Thank you so, so much for your donations. That money will be donated to Infinity Foundation. And happy 4th of July, everybody. But let this Independence Day cause us to fight for our independence. Our independence also meaning freedom from fear of being shot by some radicalized person who has been brainwashed by these ultra-right Trumplican Christian nationalists, so-called Christian nationalists. So thank you. Try to have a happy 4th. I send you my love and light. And I rarely get angry, but today I was angry because I always get angry when people lose their lives due to hatred. And maybe let that anger motivate us and push us forward to do something. All right, you all. It's been a pleasure. Well, not so much a pleasure. I love talking to all of you. All the energy is great. And thank you so much for joining in today. Love and light. Namaste.